there guys, how are you? Welcome back to another awesome video. We have another top 10 video. And today's top 10 video, in honor of the Batman sequel coming out next year, and with also next year being the rise of the new James Gunn DC Cinematic Universe with Superman Legacy. And I think after that, I want to say next year or the next couple of years, we're going to see James Gunn's new Batman movie. Let's talk about the top 10 actors who should play the Dark Knight himself. So for this list, we're going to take a look at some actors that I personally think these actors should play the Caped Crusader himself in James Gunn's DC Cinematic Universe Batman movie called Batman the Brave and the Bold. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. At number 10, we have Josh Brolin. From Thanos to Cable to Jonah Hex to countless of comic book film roles, but also various of other movie roles like in Sicario and the Dune franchise and many other films that just show how well of an actor Josh Brolin is, and he just has like this strong, structured, chiseled look that makes him look like a really good, convincing Batman. And plus, what's really even interesting is that before Ben Affleck got the role of Batman for Batman v Superman, it was gonna go to Josh Brolin himself. So why not give the ex-Mad Titan himself an opportunity to play the Dark Knight? Number 9 is Chiwetel Ejiofor. Speaking of MCU actors and MCU villains, I think Chiwetel Ejiofor would be very interesting as the character of Batman, and specifically Bruce Wayne. I wouldn't want him to play Tim Fox. We don't talk about Tim Fox, but I think him playing Bruce Wayne would be interesting. Out of all the African American actors out there, I know there's Idris Elba and I know there's Jamie Foxx, and although those guys would be incredible as the character, I think Ejiofor, I feel like, is not underappreciated amongst that sort of those actors, but kind of in a sense. So I want to give him more of the edge and a little more of the like upper advantage here, if you will, even if African American actors don't consider themselves like, hey, this is not a role meant for us, like this is meant literally for the white folk, as they've said. But if hypothetically Batman were to ever be played by an African American, I would give my money to Ejiofor. Number 8 is Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins is known for doing a lot of action movies, a lot of martial arts films, and maybe a few of his own stunts. I think that is why and what would make him such a really good Batman, is to be able to obviously do and be capable of doing those martial arts and all that combat and all those action sequences. He's just like an actor that his talents don't get appreciated as much as they should, even though he's done side performances like he has appeared in the John Wick franchise. It's still worth acknowledging that this guy is a hell of a force to be reckoned with, and I think giving him a role like Batman could put him up the charts as a big, maybe B-lister, A-lister actor. And number 7 is Jon Hamm. No matter who you are, you've probably heard of this man because of Mad Men. And Mad Men was such a successful show, and this launched Jon Hamm's career because he became a big name because of that show. But I think since that show, he's tried to prove himself in other films and appeared in things like, I want to definitely especially highlight Baby Driver for him playing the villain. I think it'd be great, fantastic as the world's greatest detective. And honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he was one of Zack Snyder's candidates. I feel like Jon Hamm definitely deserves to have a chance to be this character. If not, he's gonna wind up playing a big MCU role at some point down the line. Number 6 is Casey Affleck, the brother to Ben Affleck, and quite honestly, another actor that doesn't really have the same recognition as his brother, but he has done some really great work in movies like Ocean's 11, and I heard he did a phenomenal job in Manchester by the Sea. So I think with his repertoire that Casey has under his belt, almost kind of like similar to his brother in terms of his acting style, having like these really like not big budget, big like IP films, and having like these like not indie films, but kind of like these indie names. I don't know what to really classify them, because Ben Affleck did random movies that people wouldn't classify as big IPs, like as Argo and Gone Girl, and he was still phenomenal, and that got him the role of Batman. I think Casey kind of could have an opportunity like that if James Gunn were to knock on his door, and I think he should give him that opportunity. So I remember there was a whole thing that if Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, Casey should be Robin. Here's the opportunity for Robin to become Batman. Alright, I'm nearing down my final 5 on my list. And number 5 is Wes Bentley. Wes Bentley just has that face. He just has that look that looks like he can be Bruce Wayne. I think it's probably the black hair. I think it's just those eyes. I don't know what it is. It's something in the face that he just looks like he'd be a fantastic Bruce Wayne. And I don't know a lot of Wes Bentley, but I've seen and heard that he did a TV show called Yellowstone recently, and I could have swore he was in a horror movie. Like, I think he either did something like one of the Jordan Peele movies or something else. I could be 100% wrong, but I feel like he was in a horror movie. I don't remember which one, but I feel like he was. Either way, he has at least appeared in things that people would be at least familiar with the guy, to be like, hey, I know that guy. He looks great. He'd be great. Boom. There's your Batman. Number 4 is Jensen Ackles, a man that has done both animation and live action, with, of course, being known for Dean from Supernatural, and now he's got The Boys under his belt as, I think his name is Soldier Boy, which I still need to watch The Boys. Don't judge me. I know. I need to watch it. Definitely on my list. Not only that, but Jensen has voiced Red Hood in Batman Under the Red Hood, and he actually voiced Batman in an animated movie. I want to say The Long Halloween Parts 1 and 2, I think. And I wouldn't be surprised if James Gunn decides, hey, since Jensen, you've done the voice work of Batman for my latest DC animated movies, I would like you to be the voice and the face of Batman, since James Gunn wants to keep the actors the same throughout animation, video games, and movies, so that way it kind of is a bigger cinematic universe and kind of makes a little more sense and more consistent, I guess. So I wouldn't put it past James Gunn if he wants to take that route and say, hey, Jensen, you voiced Batman in an animated movie of mine, you want to play him in live action? Awesome. Number 3 is Sam Witwer. Speaking of voice actors, we've all seen how much I kind of have delved into Sam Witwer, and a little bit he's been underappreciated as a voice actor, and he has a strong, powerful voice. And not only that, but I mean, he's got that debonair look that looks like, yeah, he kind of could be a Batman. He has done not only animation, but he has done some live action stuff. He was, I forget the character's name, but he was in Supergirl, so he is affiliated with superhero properties and non-Star Wars things that people would go and say, oh yeah. And also, I think, if I remember correctly, he was in The Mist, that Stephen King movie. So I feel like people might have seen his face before, might be like, yeah, I can buy into him. And I just want to give him a little more of that edge, because, I mean, again, he's underappreciated and he's underrated as hell, in my opinion. Number 2 is Ben Barnes. I know there's probably other stuff that Ben Barnes has done, but mainly from what I've seen him as Billy Russo, aka Jigsaw, I feel like just looking at that makes me go, yep, Bruce Wayne right there. Well, not necessarily the Jigsaw part, but just that slick hair he has, and sort of like this like philanthropist attitude, personality, that would be a trait that Ben could play. And I can't help but keep saying this with all these actors, is that they have these looks to them that make me go, yeah, he looks like Batman. He looks like Bruce Wayne. I feel like he can channel that inner darkness about what is great about Batman, but also that thing that keeps Batman going. Before I unveil my number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Matt Damon. Ben Affleck's co-star in things like Good Will Hunting, and I think they even appeared in like the Jay and Silent Bob movies. But the point is, Matt Damon has definitely proved himself with a lot with the Bourne movies, The Martian, and also other stuff that I think he would be a fantastic Batman. Scott Eastwood, yes, the legendary son of Clint Eastwood himself, I think should have a very iconic role and an iconic character like Batman. Just like his old man has had so many iconic characters, I think this one would really be up there along with things like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and maybe Dirty Harry, maybe even more, but I think it'd be kind of cool for Scott. Robert Downey Jr., as crazy as it was when he was originally casted to be Iron Man, I think outlandish, crazy, wild card of a casting choice for Batman, RDJ fits the bill perfect for this. If he can do Iron Man, I think it'd be neat to see him do Batman. Even if they're both similar, I think it'd be different and it'd be unique for RDJ to kind of play him a little darker, since Tony's not as dark and depressed or very much brutal as Batman, even if he is offered to return in the MCU or not. Keanu Reeves. Not only has Keanu Reeves voiced Batman before in an animated movie, but it's freaking Keanu Reeves. How cool would it be for Neo and or John Wick actually play the world's greatest detective? And also, if they're not going to give him Constantine too, give him Batman. Come on, James. If you're not going to give him Constantine again, give him the Dark Knight. So, just saying. Henry Cavill. Now that Henry Cavill is no longer Superman and we have David Cornsweet, I think it'd be kind of neat for Henry to play someone like Batman. For an actor who was known for a iconic superhero that represented peace and hope, I think it'd be interesting to see Henry play someone more grounded and more down to earth and a little more grizzled. Alright, my number one pick of my top 10 actors who should play Batman is, drumroll please, Jake Gyllenhaal. Not only is Jake Gyllenhaal one of my favorite actors in terms of like top like 10 or 20 actors out there, the range and capability that Jake has from movies like Donnie Darko, Bubble Boy, Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home, and even getting into the physical shape of things like in South Park. But also, my dude was actually almost going to be Batman, ironically enough, for Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy before Christian Bale took the role or was given a role or accepted a role or whatever reason Gyllenhaal turned down this role. I think it'd be interesting and not necessarily come full circle, but I think it'd be great to give this time around James Gunn decides, hey, Andy Muschietti, let's get Jake Gyllenhaal his chance to finally play the Dark Knight as he should, with how like tormented he could play the role and just really just sink his teeth into this one, and I think it'd be phenomenal. Those are the actors I think should play Batman in an upcoming Batman the Brave and the Bold movie. Let me know in the comments down below, who do you want to see? And as always guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe to us videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every week. Share the video with your friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave suggestions down in the comments. You name it, I'll look to it as best as possible. Look up for more movie reviews, look up for other things planned out and scheduled or recorded, whatever fun stuff I have in store. But it's gonna be plenty of things for sure. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.